Alright, hello everyone. So today we have a bit of a surprise trailer. I wasn't expecting anything today, but this is going to be the chapter 5.5 Miracle in District 20 Bokak, which means rerun. So this is going to be the rerun PV, and we get to see a lot of the new content as shadows, and we also get to see a lot of the egos that are going to be coming out with this thing, as well as the announcer. Let's just go ahead and take a look.
관리자 나리와 이리로 조용히 오게나.
The first thing I like is that Don actually says, "Forsooth, I have devised a splendid plan for thee." I have devised a plan most ingenious. So yeah, it's a very nice little callback here. Really nice. This trailer within a trailer is actually in English, which I thought was really cool. He's actually saying warm lights all over the place. We have the gnomes. The gnomes design seems to be largely unchanged for the hard mode, or maybe they just use the normal mode version of the gnomes to just hide the hard mode versions. But I'm guessing that they are not going to change the gnomes too much since they're quite iconic. So this is going to be the same plot point. Heathcliff is looking for the fancy clothes, right, before he goes to meet Catherine. So this storyline is going to be the previous one. You just are experiencing the old storyline as per usual, right? We have the Christmas Nightmare Gregor here. And once the light goes off, suddenly the monster is unleashed. So that's the whole theme of this entire ego line here. There is a monster hiding underneath your bed, and when the lights go off, that is when it's unleashed. Gregor's ego, by the way, hits 5 enemies with a bunch of slashing attacks. Could be a multi-coin slashing ego just off the bat. If it follows the previous egos of Holiday, it might be random bullshit go, which is you just pick one of the statuses and you apply a random status to the target. I don't know if that's going to be very important, but if they follow Holiday style, it will be something like that. But I'm guessing that they won't do that because that random bullshit go is not really a good way to encourage people to get the ego, right? It's not really very strong. So maybe they'll just make these egos support some sort of status, right? Maybe even bleed or whatnot, because later on when you see the corroded form, right, you'll see a lot of blood be spilled. So maybe it's a bleed related one, or it could be a nightmare ego, which means something like sanity, which is sinking question mark. So it could be either or. I'm really not too sure. But for the corroded version, it looks super cool. Once the light goes off with that little teddy bear, you unleash the monster within, and then om nom 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 nom, and then spit you out, and it's just a bunch of blood that gets sprayed all over the place. For Ishmael is also similar in design for the animations here. Once the light goes off, you just unleash the giant octopus hiding beneath her skirt. Don't know where the hell that came out from, but apparently she's the sea monster Ishmael. Really nice design. I think it's very thematic to her also, since she is very closely related to the Great Ocean. Yeah, really very nice. And here you can see the eyeballs much more vividly. I actually at first thought it was Apocalypse Bird related, but looking at the eyeballs, it looks like a totally different distortion, so it's not Apocalypse Bird related, right? The Ishmael, very cute here, and then suddenly demon face in the back is also a very nice touch here. I like this ego a lot in terms of artwork, or maybe it's just because I love Ishmael too much. Alright, whatever. Either way, this ego here is probably going to be a must get for me. I'm not sure whether any of these egos are going to be free. That's the thing, right? Because the previous Holiday egos, one was free, one was pull only, which is Holiday Otis. And then Ishmael here and Gregor, they're going to be the season egos, which means that they are locked for 1 week and then you can dispense them afterwards. Or maybe one of them is free and then maybe one of them is you can dispense after 1 week. We have to see how they want to play this one out for now. But I think with the goal of making money, they might not be so generous with that kind of giving away. We just have to see how strong these egos are. Because these egos, if you notice, Gregor hits 5 AoE, and then Ishmael hits 3 to 4 AoE. With the corroded form, it hits 4. With the regular form, it hits 3. So it could be pretty significant if it applies any sort of status to multiple targets. We just have to wait and see. The event reward announcer, the Gnome Triome. I didn't like the voice when I first heard it. And I don't think I will be getting this announcer if it's going to be kind of voices like this. And now you get to see a little bit of how to change it. So now you have a limited time to change to the hard mode. And then what happens is that you get all this hard content and you get the new hard dungeon here with this boss, who is supposed to be the Gnome Santa boss. But if you look at the hair, I think he got a little bit of a glow up. so that he is going to be a little bit more scary looking compared to the normal mode version of the Gnome Center. So we'll have to wait and see this one as well. I think he did get a glow up because I don't remember the initial version's hair being so damn spiky. Or maybe those are Christmas lights or some shit, right? This character looks like he just got a little bit of a scary touch up for the hard mode, so that when you go through the story again, it will be quite interesting to go and see what they changed. Right, and then you can see here the shiny Bogak again. This just means rerun. Right, so District 20 Miracle is going to be run from the 26th to the 23rd, right? I unfortunately will not be here again. I'm actually going away again for the Christmas celebrations, but I really like the animations of these egos here. As for whether it's going to be useful, well, I wonder what status they actually will provide here. It could be many things really, but Gregor's one, I don't know. I'm just getting a bit of a bleeding feeling to it. If you think about it, right, Bloodfiend Gregor doesn't really have an ego that really supports any bleed archetype, right? So it is kind of possible that they will give this ego to your Bloodfiend Gregor so that he actually has some sort of ego that can actually maybe apply more count or some shit like that. Because the theme of the Bloodfiends is usually you get your count from either other characters, not from the Bloodfiend family, or from the egos of the Bloodfiend characters, right? Sanguine Desire Rodion. You have yourself the Wishing Cairn Dawn, and then maybe Gregor can use Christmas Nightmare Gregor to apply a bunch of bleeding to a bunch of targets. That would probably make some sort of sense here, right? Then for Ishmael, not really any bleed related characters unless you want to use Captain Ahab in the party, right? So maybe it's something like that for bleeding, or it could even be for sinking if you want to do it with the Mola Ishmael. I really don't know what they're going to cook here with the Ishmael one, but I really do like the thematic part of her having the sea monster tentacles to fit her origin story, which is I think is very, very nice. Really, really good animation stuff. Can't wait to see what these actually contribute to any sort of team comms, and hopefully it is not the holiday random bullshit go, because I do not like the random status stuff. It doesn't really do anything for any team comm, and it becomes just a bit of a skippable banner at that point. Right, so that's going to be it, I think, for my initial thoughts for this event. I probably won't be here for when the event actually hits, so hopefully these egos are going to be pretty worth it if you are going to be pulling for them. Once again, I don't recommend pulling for them immediately. You should just wait for the 1 week to pass, and then you can save your lunacy for the future events or future Walpurgis Night. Walpurgis Night is coming up very, very soon, so that one is something you all should take note of. Just make sure you don't get itchy fingers and start pulling for these Christmas nightmares unless you are willing to just pay a bunch of money to P-Moon, in which case go ahead. Really, if you're going to contribute to the anime, then just contribute to the anime. I really do not care. I'm going to be playing a bit safe here and wait for 1 week, and then after that I'll dispense these egos if they are worth it, and otherwise I'm skipping them because I'm being very, very frugal with my resources right now. Alright, so that's going to be it, I think, for initial stuff. Thanks guys for watching, and remember to comment if you have any other theories and stuff. Alright, bye bye.